right, good evening, everybody. Oh, you should be happier than that. Tomorrow's a public holiday. Good evening, everyone. There we go. Welcome to DuePoint. Good evening to everyone around the country who's tuned into our live stream on YouTube. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here this evening, or in this business, not only this evening. And I'm going to be going through this presentation with you over the next probably an hour, because we have a special format this evening, so it takes a little bit longer than normal. I've reduced my talking down so that we can hear what our wealth engineers have to say. So this evening's format is called Tell All Tuesday. It is something that we do once a month. And during this format, what we do is we invite some of the wealth engineers, so people from the public who have been in the business for a long time, for a short time, to come up onto stage and share their experience of this business with you. Because I think that's more believable when it comes from someone else's mouth than when it comes from my mouth, right? So this is something we do every month. All right, so let's begin. We're going to be spending, I think, just over an hour, so bear with me. After the presentation, you are welcome to come speak to me, ask me any questions. We've got most of our staff here this evening, so I'm sure we can tend to everybody after the presentation. All right, so let me turn my clicker on. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia, we've been in business since 1952, so that's nearly 70 years, quite a while. That's their offices in the background. We don't share offices with them. They're just down the road from us, though, in Randburg. That is the branding that they use, which is slightly different to DuePoint's. The FSP number that we operate under is that one that you see over there. That's very important because that's our license to operate in the financial services industry. If you look outside in the foyer above our water cooler, you'll notice we've got all these certificates up on the wall. Those are our Financial Services Board licenses. So we've got a long and short-term insurance license. We've got a financial services provider license. We've got an investment license. And we've also put up our accreditation with the direct marketing and the direct selling associations. We naturally take credibility very seriously here at DuePoint. And I think that's because of all the other business opportunities floating around South Africa that aren't so credible. And I think a couple of people have been burnt by that. And you might have arrived this evening skeptical already. I'm hoping that we've allayed that fear. We're a very credible business. Like I said, we've been around for nearly 70 years. And 2 years ago, what happened was Constantia launched a business called DuePoint. And we have what we call the DuePoint system, which was launched 2 years ago, so February 2 years ago. And our guests this evening, you have the opportunity to join this business. What basically happens, I'm going to explain it very briefly before we go into more detail. What basically happens is when you join DuePoint, you contract with us, and once you've contracted with us, we call you wealth engineers. And as wealth engineers, you've got a single task, and the task is to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. And you do this by bringing other people to DuePoint, introducing and connecting other people to DuePoint. And what happens is our online platform will facilitate the sale of products to the people that you introduce to us. And that's basically how this entire business works, summed up in 2 sentences. The benefit for you is that you get to create additional income. Now, that's why we're all here this evening, right? You made the effort to come out to Bryanston because you want something extra. But the nature of the income that we produce is very important. We call it recurring income. Some people refer to it as passive income. So if you've ever read up much about entrepreneurship, you'll hear entrepreneurs always speak about passive income, people speaking about creating a second line of income. They talk about passive income. What they're talking about is recurring income, and I fondly refer to my father's description of it, which kind of describes in very layman terms, is the ability to make money while you're sleeping. Did anyone know that was even possible, to make money while you're sleeping? No? You don't have to stand in a miniskirt on Rivonia Road to do that. There are more authentic ways to create money while you're sleeping. And it is through recurring income. This is the antithesis of employment. Employment is creating active income. You are paid for the amount of time that you work every month at your job, right? And even if you work overtime, often we don't even get paid for that. Recurring income is the ability to create an asset that pays you income regardless of whether you're working at it or not. So a great example is owning a second property. If you owned a second property that you could rent out every month, that is a form of passive income. You don't have to buy the house every single month. You don't have to build the house every month. It is a form of income that comes in as recurring income for you every single month. And in this business, something that's inherent to insurance companies, we create recurring income. You get to share in that benefit in this business as a wealth engineer. We harness the power of duplication. So the DuePoint system that we've built with something that we call leverage in mind. Leverage is the ability to duplicate yourself. Have you ever been so busy that you wished you could duplicate yourself, that you could clone yourself? Right? Only a few people. The rest, we need to work harder, or you need 5 kids. If you have 5 kids and you've got a job, you know you're going to want to duplicate yourself, right? But the ability to duplicate yourself is the ability to rid yourself of time constraint. It is, again, something that we experience in employment. You're constrained by time. In this business, these people that you bring in and connect to DuePoint is your opportunity to bring other people in to help collaborate with you. If you collaborate with these people successfully, they will in turn increase your recurring income. So again, as a simple layman example, if you compared a sales director at a business compared to a salesperson in a business, the sales director gets a little bit of commission off of every single salesperson working for him, right? But the salesperson only gets commission from his own efforts, right? He's not able to clone himself, whereas the sales director can increase the size of his sales workforce and increase the amount of commission that he's earning. So that's what leverage is the ability to duplicate yourself in this business. These two benefits are probably the most important on the slide. Flexi time. The business is flexi time. You get to decide how DuePoint fits into your life. We don't dictate to you how much time you have to spend in this business. This is a decision that you need to make. My hope is that you'll keep yourself accountable to this business, because if you decide to do this business, I hope you put 2 feet into the business, not 1, because you need the commitment. If you want to be successful, you have to be accountable and committed to this business 100%. But you get to decide what that looks like. You can do this business. The amount of money we've spent with regards to technology in this business allows you to build your channel of distribution at any time of the day, anywhere in the country. You can be in Pofadder at 5 a.m. in the morning building your business, right? It is completely flexible for you. There's no startup capital in our business. We don't have startup kits that you have to invest in. We don't have startup fees or registration fees. We don't have boxes of product that you have to invest in to get started in this business. We make the business as risk-free as possible so that it becomes more accessible to the average South African. Again, we are not interested in people's qualifications or experience. I often tease the audience and say, did everyone put their CVs on the table when they walked in? No, right? No one even bothered to bring a CV this evening. Because the only thing we're worried about in a business like this is what your work ethic is like. Whether you are able to keep yourself accountable to investing time and working hard in this business. I don't care if you've got matric or don't have matric, whether you've got work experience or you don't have work experience, whether you've got a degree or you don't have a degree. It does not matter. Every single person in this room has equal opportunity to be successful as a wealth engineer at DuePoint. Now, for me, probably the most important benefit is the ability to build an asset that you have ownership over. This channel of distribution that you're building here at DuePoint, you have legal tender over it. It means you own it. That means you're able to sell it, right? Because it's an asset that is creating recurring income. It will have intrinsic value. If you've got an asset that's creating 10,000 Rand a month in income every single month, it's going to be worth something. You're able to sell it. This business will keep on paying you once you're retired. What happens when we get to retirement? Your income ends. Ends, right? The average South African, more than the average South African, let me say 90%. So the statistic is 90% of South Africans will get to retirement and have to live on 50% of what they were used to in terms of their income. That's 90% of us. Imagine I took half your income away today. What does your life look like? Well, for 90% of us, that's going to happen when you get to 60, 65. This business, this channel of distribution, will keep paying you beyond retirement. This business will not retire you. This business will carry on paying out once you die. How many of us would like to pass wealth on to our children and spouse instead of debt? This business has the power to do that. You have an asset that you are building. And so my hope is, knowing that you're building an asset that you have ownership over, that you'll be happy to invest and sacrifice time into building your channel of distribution here at DuePoint. There's no selling involved in our business. Now, this is a wonderful benefit. We did it for regulatory purposes, but as far as I know, majority of us are terrified of selling. Who likes to sell things to their friends on weekends? Right? Most of us have probably experienced something like that, right? If you've been in any other business called network marketing or any other business where you're trying to make money on the side, you've probably experienced having to try to sell things to people. People don't even like the prospect of having to sell. We contract you out of selling. There is no selling involved in this business. You are tasked with connecting people to the financial opportunity that exists at DuePoint. So imagine I went up to two groups of people. I split you in half, and to this half of the people, I came up to you and said, guys, I've got a wonderful insurance product for you. Come watch an hour presentation on my insurance product. And then to this half of the audience, I said, guys, I've got a financial and earning opportunity, an asset that you have ownership over with a business that is 70 years old, creates recurring income for you. Who do you think is going to come listen to me? Right? The latter. The last group, exactly. That's all you're going to be doing. You're connecting people to a business opportunity. It is the number one commodity that exists in South Africa today because of our economy. People are hungry for business opportunity. Our task is to connect those people. Someone is waiting for you to tell them about DuePoint. The nature of our products, because they're financial in nature, means they are intangible. So like I said earlier that you don't have to buy boxes of product to get started in this business. We don't have stock and distribution issues. Did anyone bring their uncle's bucky this evening hoping they were taking home lots of product to sell this weekend? Right? We don't have any of those issues. So we make the products as convenient as possible. I'm going to show you what a channel of distribution looks like. Remember I said your number one task, your only task is to build a channel of distribution at DuePoint. So it begins with you. You become a wealth engineer, and like I said, you're going to go out and connect other people to this business opportunity. If you are successful in that process, and you get, whether it be friends or family or strangers or colleagues, whoever it is, to join DuePoint and start collaborating with you as wealth engineers, they take out one of our products, that is the beginning of your channel of distribution, right? These people that have just joined DuePoint are going to go out and do exactly the same thing as you. In their own right, they are also building their channels of distribution, in turn building your channel of distribution. Do you see the leverage, the duplication that takes place there? Over time, you will have this organic growth that takes place in your business, and we have seen it numerous times with almost every single channel. Tim, at our awards presentation in February, you can go look at it on YouTube, he showed us a couple of case studies with people that had joined DuePoint and then a few months later left the business. Their channels didn't stop growing. Their channels exploded with them away. The one individual could be earning 10,000 Rand a month, but they're sitting at home doing something completely unaware of the size of their channel. This is leverage. Your channel could look like this. Every single person represented here owning a product, but you only spent effort bringing 5 people into the business. That is leverage. And you'll see when I bring up wealth engineers later this evening, I'll show you their channels. You will see the leverage they've created in their businesses, right? We want leverage because we are doing this business as a flexi-time business, right? We've all got different circumstances. We don't have time. And so we make the most of your time by using leverage in the business. So that's what a channel of distribution looks like. You'll be warned. So I mentioned a little bit earlier, I touched on it, that people might have arrived in the presentation in fear that they've been invited to one of those type of presentations. Did anyone worry about that? Did they think, oh, okay. Most people, they don't say anything. They all keep quiet. No, I didn't think that. Exactly, right? It's a natural fear because a lot of people have experienced other businesses, I don't want to say like ours, because any business can connect themselves to a network marketing remuneration model, right? But anyone can do that. And so we've got a lot of people that have suffered in the past with businesses like that. We are not one of those businesses. We've been around for 70 years. We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. We are probably regulated in the most onerous industry that exists in South Africa, being the financial services industry. We are not a get-rich-quick scheme. We are not a pyramid scheme. We are none of those things. It is an authentic entrepreneurial opportunity where we've invited the public to join and collaborate us with benefit to both of us. Right? At the same time, Brendan and myself, when we do training, we will never profess that you can become successful quickly. Because in any aspect of life that doesn't exist. So then I often ask a trick question. Who came here hoping this was a get-rich-quick scheme? One. You were hoping that, right? Most people go, no, I'm not interested in get-rich-quick schemes. And I say, okay, everyone's here because they want to be part of the get-rich-slow scheme. Then everyone says, no, I don't want to be part of that either. We will never tell you can be successful easily. To be successful in any endeavor in life, you have to work at it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's gym, your health, trying to give up smoking, family, being a father, being a mother, right? Church, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to work at it. It's not simple. To be successful in anything requires work. It's no different to this business. We make the mistake of romanticizing entrepreneurship. Because if you start in this business, you are going to be an entrepreneur, right? You are working for yourself, for your own benefit. And what we do is we make this mistake. We look at successful entrepreneurs. Does anyone have a successful entrepreneur friend? A few of you, right? The rest of you got to hang out more with successful people. But if you have a successful entrepreneur friend, have you ever thought, they were lucky? Have you never thought that? I've thought that. I've got one very successful entrepreneur friend. He barely got through school. He was the guy that was getting 40%, 39%, 40%, 39%. I think the school pushed him through at the end, right? They pushed him through at the end. But when he entered the workplace, he was on fire. I bumped into a gym. You know there's a gym just across the road here. So I don't speak to him too often, but I bump into him at gym. He told me he's a petrol head, so he loves cars. Told me he's buying his fourth Porsche. Fourth! GT3 4-liter. Costs about 4 million rand. It's on his fourth one. He runs a business that installs network cabling. Right? Massive success. And I look at a person like that, successful entrepreneur, and I go, you must have been lucky. He could barely work out 4 plus 4 at school. Right? But we make the mistake. Because on the surface, it's easy to make that mistake, to look at somebody and go, they must have been lucky, or they must have known someone, or they got ahead somehow, right? It could never have been hard work. Because if you dig a little deeper, a successful entrepreneur, you'll know they probably invested their life savings. Every single spare minute of their life has gone into that business to make it successful. And we are no different. If you want what we're going to be talking about this evening, it is going to require that hard work. So this is our disclaimer slide, right? So that no one's fooled at the beginning of the presentation. We all know where we stand. All right. So as any financial services business, we have products. I'm going to go over the products quickly. We have 3 products. They are financial in nature. Their benefit is certainly financial in nature. As guests here this evening, you have the opportunity in becoming a wealth engineer to choose one or all 3 products. That's completely up to you. It's a personal decision that you get to make. Access Wealth is our first product. It is an investment product. It is 324 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand gets invested into a tax-free investment fund in your name. That sits with Sanlam, right? So 324 Rand a month, 100 Rand goes every month into your investment. And then we give you a little bit of insurance with this product to the value of 120,000 Rands with a personal accident cover. So if you have this investment product in place and you are killed in an accident, right, as example, we will pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever's the investment. The nature of the investment account is what we call a full access or no restriction or no delayed account. That means that you can draw your investment out at any stage in this business. It's not a 30 or 60-day notice, right? So it takes about 4 or 5 days to process that transaction. But that is our investment product, Access Wealth. The second product is called Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is strictly insurance. So there's no investment here. It's only insurance. It's 299 Rand a month. But this time you get 1.2 million Rands worth of personal accident cover with this product. Now you'll notice that I'm saying personal accident cover. I didn't call it life insurance. I didn't call it funeral cover. There's a big difference between personal accident cover and those products. The beauty of our product is that we can give it to anybody. We can offer it to anyone over the age of 18, right? So this product becomes very accessible because what we don't do is profile your risk from a health point of view to ourselves. So you can be 75 years old, you can be diabetic, you can have heart problems, you can still take out this product. It still only costs you $299 and you get the full amount of cover, 1.2 million Rands. Okay, so that's our insurance product, Wealth Guard. The third product is called Wealth Points. It's also 299 Rand a month, And what this product aims to do is to save you money on the money that you're spending every month anyway. So if you look at the list of partners here, so the companies that we've partnered with, take a look at those. I bet you spend money with at least one of those businesses, because we've got everything covered. We've got data, we've got groceries, online shopping, we've got hotels, restaurants, we've got car manufacturers. If you're a WealthPoints member, you get to enjoy the discounts that we've negotiated with these businesses. So for example, always on Wi-Fi data, if you buy a gig of data from them, it'll typically cost you 100 Rand. But as a WealthPoints Partners member, you will only pay 37 Rand. Right? Do you see the discount that you get? The discount is different with all the partners. You can go look at our website for more information around these products. We've just added Jaguar Land Rover Santon, because I know a lot of the wealth engineers will be buying Range Rovers soon. Is that right? Okay, good. So you're going to go to Jaguar Land Rover Santon. They will give you the best price and the best service in the country. That's what they've promised us. So that's what WealthPoints looks like. If you want immediate benefit, it's a great product. All right. So how do you earn money in this business? Let's get on to how you earn and benefit as a wealth engineer. There are two ways to benefit. The one is through what we call our returns program, and the second way to benefit is through our rewards program, right? Only two ways. The returns program is the ability to make the recurring income. This is the most important benefit, the number one benefit, the thing we're going to be focused on all the time, the returns program. It works like this. We pay out a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product that you have in your channel. Right? So remember the picture with your channel building and building and building? The first 5 people that you bring into the business personally, that product, those people lie on your first point. And according to the table, you can see on your first point, we actually pay you double the 27.50 Rand. So you get paid 55 Rand for every single product, every single month. Remember, this is recurring income. This is not product that you have to make sure that gets sold every single month. This happens automatically every month. So you find the 5 people, you get paid that 55 Rand for every single person every single month, right? And then your channel starts to grow to your second point. So these people go out and they start helping you build your channel. On your second point, you see you get paid 55 Rand again for every product every month. And then as the product gets further and further away from you, you see the multiplier steadily begins to drop all the way to 0.8. You see you're getting 4% of the 27.50 Rand, which is 1.10 Rand. But we don't limit you at 0.8, right? That's why there's a little plus next to the 0.8. We will keep paying from 0.8 in theory to infinity that 1.10 Rand for every single product in your channel. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. The earnings here, the returns that you can make here are unlimited. The onus falls squarely on your shoulders, right? We've got wealth engineers in 24 months that have exceeded 0.30 already in their businesses. So this is the mechanics of the returns. Fairly straightforward. The next typical question is, well, how much money do people make in this business? How much money can I make in time? I need to get an idea beyond the 55 Rand a product. So what we did was when we launched the business 2 years ago, we decided to come up with a projection. It's a projection that runs over the next 5 years, and it is based on a growth formula, a premise. The premise is that you can bring 3 people into the business in your first month, and then every consecutive month you only have to bring in 2. We call it the 3+2 growth formula. So we're in middle of March. You need to bring 3 people in March if you want to follow the example. And then in April, you only have to bring 2. And in May, 2, June, 2, July, 2, August, 2. And you keep bringing 2 new people into perpetuity. If you can follow that growth formula of 3+2, you can expect to earn these numbers. After 6 months in the business, you could be earning 2,500 Rand in recurring income. Now look at everyone's reaction. No one seems impressed at all. That was my first reaction, so don't feel bad, right? The accountants came up with this. We can blame them. But when they came up with the projection, my reaction too was 2,500 Rand after 6 months of work. Surely we should come out with an example that's a little bigger, right? Otherwise people, well, they're not going to look at our business. But what I've learned is that beyond just making extra money, what this business is also about is about changing the way you think about money. Isn't that more powerful? The knowledge about money rather than just being paid the extra money. And what the lesson is that we need to stop thinking about money like consumers. This is how a consumer thinks. I give you 2,500 Rand tonight. Let's say it's all your lucky night. I feel like Oprah and I put 2,500 Rand under everyone's chair. How long is that 2,500 Rand going to last? A day. The one lady in the front last week said 1 hour. 1 hour. So, jeez. Where are you planning to go tonight? Right? That's exactly how consumers think and behave. Our economy is actually predicated on consumerism, unfortunately, and they want us to solve our financial issues. But if you give 2,500 rand to an investor, to an entrepreneur, to someone who wants to leverage the money, they want to make the money work for them, they think very differently about it. And I'm going to illustrate it for you. Here's a person with 1 million rand in debt, right? A bond. So they found a nice little apartment in Bryanston. They don't have the money. We don't have the money to buy houses cash anyway. You go to the bank and you ask for a loan. They look at your credit history, how much you're getting paid, and then they go, okay, we agree to pay you the million rand so you can buy the house, but you're going to pay us back over the next 20 years. That's called a bond, right? We know how the bond works. And they say, we'll give you the rate of the prime plus 2. At prime plus 2 on a million rand debt, you're going to be paying back 11,500 rand a month for 20 years. So today I'm 40. I get to make my final installment when I'm 60. 60, when I'm retired. When Brendan says he's tired of me standing on stage, I must go because I'm old. Can't relate to the young people anymore, right? I will have made my final installment. I'll become a homeowner for the first time at the age of 60, right? This is how everyone does a bond. But at 40, I joined DuePoint, and 6 months later, with some success, I'm earning now this little 2,500 rand a month. Everyone thinks it's little, right? Little 2,500 rand a month. But Rob says, think differently about money. Don't spend the money. Pay your debt off faster. If you pay your debt off faster, you empower yourself. I'm going to show it to you. You take your 2,500 rand, instead of spending it, you put it into your bond as an additional payment. So now you're paying the bank 14,000 a month, right? The net effect of that is that you'll reduce that bond from 20 years to 11 and a half years. Putting in an extra 20% on your bond payment reduces your bond by nearly 50%. Do you know how much money you save in interest payments that you would have made back to the bank? It'll save you nearly 1 million rand in cash. That is what your house cost in the beginning. At 12 months, you're earning in excess of 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Who would like a 100,000 rand check every Christmas? You come to DuePoint, I give you a 100,000 rand check, you go home. What are your family going to say if you come home with 100,000 rand every Christmas? Not once. This business is about recurring income. Every Christmas, 100,000 rand. How does that change the Christmas presents, school fees, school uniforms, holidays, right? That is 12 months away. We keep going. At month 24, you're earning about 30,000 rand a month. You see how quickly that escalated, right? You were ready to walk out at month 6. Now you're back again at month 24 going, this is better, right? The number's getting bigger. I can stay. I can carry on watching the presentation. We keep going. At month 36, 3 years away, you could be earning 50,000 rand a month. You want to look at a bond example again? At month 30, you would be earning 36,000 rand. The decision, the difficult decision always, is do I behave like a consumer or an entrepreneur, an investor? Because on 36,000 rand, you could go buy that Range Rover. It'll cost you 36,000 rand a month for 5 years. Right? That's the decision. Or you could do a very boring thing and put your money into the bond. Now that's difficult, because how will my friends know that I'm successful if I'm putting my money in the bond and still driving the Polo? Right? I think I just carry my bond statement with me. If I meet someone, I say, look at my bond statement. Look, I've nearly paid my house off. But that's the decision constantly. If you've got a 5 million rand bond and you put that 36,000 rand into your 5 million rand bond as an additional payment, you'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. For me, at the age of 47, I could become a homeowner of my 5 million rand house at the age of 47. We pay our debt off, and then we start creating wealth. Who would like to create wealth? Everybody, right? You all want to create wealth, of course. Can you create wealth if you owe other people money? We pay our debt off, then we start creating wealth. We create wealth through the ownership of assets and investments that appreciate. So I pay this house off, I go buy another property. They tell me property is a good investment. So I buy a second property and I pay that off in the next 7 years. At 54, I've got 2 houses. I buy a third house. At the age of 61, I've paid off my third property. Now Brendan says I must go at the age of 60, 61, right? Do you think I'll be happy to retire? I live in a 5 million rand house. I'm renting the other 2 houses for 60,000, 70,000 rand a month. Plus what DuePoint is paying me in 21 years' time. We have to make the decision 21 years before we get to enjoy the fruits of a decision like that. We keep going. At month 48, we're close to 70,000 rand a month. After 60 months, 5 years from today, you created for yourself about 1 million rand in annual recurring income. Imagine every Christmas you came to DuePoint and we gave you a 1 million rand check to take home. Every Christmas. Now you could argue, well, this is just academic. It's theory. It's something the accountants came up with, right? It is. That's definitely a valid argument. But we've been around, this division's been around for 2 years. I've seen wealth engineers doing less than 3 plus 2. You can join this business, treat it like a New Year's resolution, treat it like a hobby, do it when you only feel like it, and you'll be part of what I call the 0 plus 0 club. That's their growth formula, right? But on the other side of it, I see wealth engineers doing more than 3 plus 2. So I know that it's possible. If you want to get to 2 million rand after 60 months, guess who makes that decision? You guys. It's a personal decision. It's a decision you make every single morning when you wake up. What am I doing today? Am I just doing my day job today for my salary at the end of the month, or am I going to try and do something extra? And so that's our opportunity to invite wealth engineers up onto stage so that they can tell us their experience of this business, right? So our first wealth engineers, George and Bridget Botha. They're from Port Elizabeth, right? Who thought you could do business in Port Elizabeth? I thought everyone was ready to retire down there. They joined on the 21st of December, so they've been in the business for just over a year. They're creating, or their value of their business, this month. So we're not finished with the month yet. That number will go up. But currently, the value of their business is sitting at 5,500 rand in monthly returns. Their total returns that we've paid them so far is 33,000 rand a month. Now, do a quick calculation. They've been in the business for over a year. Their channel size is that size. Their first point, so when we talk about 3 plus 2 every month, they've put in 8 people in a year. 18, right? They are not even doing 3 plus 2. They're doing less than 3 plus 2. They've already earned 33,000 rand. That's the value of the business. Their channel size is 147. So if you look at their whole channel, they've got 147 people in the business. So we've got a voice clip. They obviously couldn't be with us, although George did try to come up. But let's take a listen to what he has to say to us.
Good evening, dear partners and friends. My name is George Botha. I am also a marathon man, and I'm going to complete my 20th Two Oceans now on Saturday, the 31st of March. I am semi-retired from the bank. I am 64 years old now at the moment, and since my retirement I have been my own boss. I've been involved now with the past 5 years with another network. The bonuses has been good, but there's no recurring income that I could build an asset. So when I was introduced by Natasha and Donovan Landon, I immediately saw the value in building an asset with DuePoint. As this has been my dream to leave a legacy for my family, I signed up immediately. I plugged myself into the DuePoint system. I watched the development seminars. And this, I must truly say, this is the best business education. The skills training, it helps you to think better. It gives you self-confidence to see the future and the world better. I set myself goals, and we also have a team vision 2020, that by June, together with our team, we would love to have a recurring income, a channel that can produce a 50,000 rand recurring income for each and every one of us. We help our first points to cross the bridge, to get involved, to get started, and to start earning with DuePoint. We just don't leave them alone. We are there to support them. We work to grow our people. Our people is important for us so that we can fulfill their potentials. And although we recognize the daily challenges it offers, but we know that the rewards at DuePoint is worth it. The money, we have seen it, we've experienced it. We have seen that there has already been a car being given, and we've also seen that our leaders and colleagues has gone on holiday, and we also believe that the asset that we are building, the lifestyle that we will live, that is what is worth the little disappointments that we do get here and there. We want to thank DuePoint for the opportunity, but I also would like to thank all the leaders who shows to us that it is possible. They walk before us. They have reached the ranks, and this is an inspiration to all of us. We also want to thank our team, which is growing every month, I must say. And we look forward to spreading this good news of DuePoint, connecting people in the areas of George and Mossel Bay and in Cape Town into the near future, so that we may help others also to achieve their financial freedom. Thank you once more again, DuePoint. We are committed. We are here. As the company grows, we would love to grow with this company. As the company advances, so we see ourselves advancing with the company. Thank you very, very much. God bless you all. Thank you, George Porter.
Thank you, George. So you can see over a year they've got to 5,500 rand. Who thinks it's not worth the time? Over 12 months of work, only at 5,500 rand. Now I'm going to ask you a quick question. And I'm hoping that you have the answer to this question, because it's a very important question. How much money are you going to need in your retirement fund to get 5,500 paid out to you every single month in interest once you retire? If you don't know the answer to the question, you don't know what your retirement looks like. You need more than R1 million in cash sitting in your investment for it to pay out 5,500 rand a month in recurring income. As a consumer, you can very easily look at 5,500 rand and go, I don't think that's worth my time. Right? Don't make that mistake. The decision for me is very simple in this business. Our guests here this evening, you have the decision. The decision is not whether you want R1 million after 5 years. It is not even whether you want 33,000 rand after 1 year. The decision is whether you have the temperament to be entrepreneurial. It is not for everybody. You have to be willing to make that sacrifice on a daily basis to do this business. That is the decision for me. It is very simple. Right? That's what you have to come to terms with when you make a decision about becoming a wealth engineer. And we do everything in our power to support you and get you started in this business. Read our code of conduct. It is our contract with you that defines what you can and cannot do as a wealth engineer. So that's fairly important. Register as a wealth engineer. That takes you about 7 minutes. You can do that online. So there's the web address, www.duepoint.net. You can do it on a mobile phone that's got our app running on it. Complete the online training. Now you have to get engaged. You want to have belief in this business? Make sure we pay you at the end of this month. That'll give you belief in the business and the system, right? So engage in the training. We've got 7 videos. They're an hour each, form part of our basic series. That's 7 hours I'm asking you to invest in knowledge in this business. Set goals for yourself, very underestimated. You put a stick in the sand. You say, that's where I want to be after a year, after 5 years in this business, because that's the only way you can prepare a plan to get there. If you don't have a goal, you can't have any plan. That's a plan just to drift around in the sea with no direction. Right? So do those 2 things. They're important. Start talking to people. You're not doing this business if you're not speaking to people. We can design the most perfect remuneration system on the planet. If you're not speaking to people, it wouldn't matter. Right? So ask yourself, if you're doing this business, am I speaking to somebody every day? The business is very straightforward. Getting started, very easy. You can be earning money by the end of the month in this business. Some don'ts that we need to highlight. We have designed this business at a specific segment in this country. This is not a charity business. The system is not designed to burden the burdened. And so it goes without saying that you need particular resources to thrive as a DuePoint wealth engineer. If you can't afford one of our products, this business is probably not for you. If you don't have access to the internet or you can't afford data, you're going to really struggle doing this business because everything that we do relies on technology and data. If you struggle with transport, you're not going to be able to collaborate effectively with the people that you bring into the business. Right? So consider these three things before you become a wealth engineer. And if you do become a wealth engineer, always consider these things when you go out and prospect, when you go look for people. Okay? Don't ever complete a DuePoint application form on behalf of somebody else. This is fraudulent. It is illegal to do that. Don't add direct family members that live with you into your channel. We call it an anti-stacking rule. Unfortunately, too much manipulation that's happened in the past. We've had to design this rule. If you've got family members that have left home, like your kids leaving home, they can be in your channel. But if you still have family members living with you, they can't be in your channel, although they can be in someone else's channel. Right? Don't start your own DuePoint Facebook page. This, again, is breaking Financial Services Board legislation. You're not allowed to do it. You are not allowed to publish, advertise DuePoint, our products, our subsidiaries, or our third parties, especially on social media platforms. And we find out about it in seconds because the internet reports to us every single day, and then we have to suspend you. So don't do it in the first place. Make sure the people that you bring into the business don't do it either. It doesn't work. Don't send leads to DuePoint. So what this point actually talks about is our responsibility as wealth engineers when we go out and prospect. What you are doing is you're going out trying to build a business and you're representing DuePoint at the same time. Treat every person that you speak to professionally with dignity and with respect. You don't know who you're bringing into your business. I promise you now, one thing that you can't do is predict what people are going to do when they join your business. You could be talking to the next superstar that brings 1,000 people into your business in a year, right? You don't know who you're speaking to. Treat everyone equally and with dignity. So those are just some of the don'ts to consider. We have a monthly incentive that we call a Wealth Quest. So this is just more benefit that you can get out of DuePoint. So March's challenge is called Let Me Entertain You, where we challenge you to bring 20 new Wealth Points members into your first and second point. So if you can do that business during the month of March, you can choose between the three rewards that you have. So at the end of March, you could be choosing a brand new iPhone 5S for yourself, or 100 gigs of data and an LTE router. So that's data for the next year, right? Or you could get 5,000 Rand in travel vouchers. That's just added benefit while you're building your business, while you're building your channel this month, right? So we run these every single month. On the 1st of April, there will be a new Wealth Quest available for everybody. For our rank 4s and above, right? So you'll know what a rank 4 is a little bit later in the presentation. But for our rank 4s and above, we've got a quest that we're running called the 90-Day Challenge. It runs from the 3rd of March to the 31st of May, where we challenge our rank 4s and above to bring in 5 new rank 2s, right? So your challenge there is to bring new people into the business and support and develop them into rank 2s. If you can do that over the next 90 days, you get an extra 25,000 Rand at the end of May. Your recurring income, just by doing this exercise, your recurring income will increase by 6,000 Rand a month. So that'll be an extra 31,000 Rand waiting for you in the middle of June. Right? So this is for our rank 4s and above. If you are rank 3 or 2, you should still be doing this. Because if you get to rank 4 in that period, you're considered to be part of that challenge. Rank 2s, 3s, and 4s and above, right? Pay careful attention to that challenge. And with that, we have Zacchaeus and Tamane coming up. Very exciting. You can see he's dressed brightly so that everyone sees him. There you go, sir. So let's take a look at your data. You joined on the 6th of June. You are rank 3. You are from Nelspruit and Mpumalanga. Your monthly return value is sitting at 7,500 Rand a month so far. You have 251 products in your channel. You have 28 first pointers. So personal growth, he's brought in 28 people in the space of 8 months personally into the business. And then what's something we need to note is that line over there, 108,000 XP. XP is what you earn when you do things wealth engineers should be doing. And he is earning over 10,000 XP a month. It means he's extremely active and extremely engaged on a daily basis in this business, right? So when we see that XP, we know you are working hard. So, sir, tell me your experience of this business. We've got a couple of guests in the audience that are hearing about DuePoint for the first time ever. You were once someone who had never heard of DuePoint, and then suddenly someone came to you and said, I've got this thing you need to look at. Tell us of your experience when you first heard of DuePoint, and what you thought about it, and how it was for that first month, perhaps.
Great. Good evening. Yeah, as you see here, it's hard work. I'm from Mpumalanga. As you can see, that's the work I've done. I want to thank my family here, the Masha and Rudolph. I don't see Danny there. Let's give them a round of applause. Yeah, we spoke over the line, and we met somewhere in other networks. We were doing well, but earning peanuts. So then when we spoke, he said to me, there's something good for you. Then I said, give it to me. Give me the website. Because basically I must check it myself, particularly if you have a lot of people around you, they have trust in you. So you must make sure that you actually become a leader. You lead by example. So I said, bring it here. So I had my phone this side, he speaks this side. I said, I'll give you a lesson now, live. Then I said, okay, do it. After some seconds, I said, this is good stuff. Then after that, he thought he's going to educate me more. Then I said, no, there's no need. I'll do it myself. So I went to the website. Then it took me 30 days to get 1%. Now I had to internalize the process myself, understand it myself before I duplicate myself. So that was the secret that I did, Rob, understanding the system. So then thereafter, the rest is history. So in my area, I'm the only person who understands this thing. So that was a bonus for me. Then I said, guys, we'll parasite guest houses because there are Wi-Fi's around my area. We don't have the KFCs and the others. There are guest houses with Wi-Fi, so I'll sit under the tree, and therefore, within the premises, pretend as if we're talking few things. I had my one-to-one talks with those people. So I'll sign them one by one, until such time that the owner said to me, what are you doing there? Then I said, can I have an appointment between the office, because I'm under the tree now here. So then he said to me, see me. Then I said, this is good chance. Because I only go for the big guys. The smallest ones sometimes are troublesome because they sign up and they cancel. But at the beginning, I was telling everybody, I was excited. This is 2.55 rand. I'm from 2 rand and 3 cents and those monies in the other networks. So to cut the story short, then I spoke to the owner of the guest house. Then I asked him a few things. The other strategy I do, Rob, is after some time I said, what he said to me, what is DuePoint? I said, no, you won't understand DuePoint. DuePoint is in your phone. What do you mean by that? There are a lot of apps in the phone. Let's download your phone first, those apps, before I educate you. In my phone, they say, yeah, if I show my app, you'll think this is a scam. It's in your phone. Then I started with the phone. DuePoint app. Then when you download on Play Store, immediately it goes on wealth number and your password. So you can't get in. And I said, okay, wait, now you won't get in. Wait until I finish. Wait until I finish. Then after that, don't worry, you'll get your own wealth number, not mine. Your own wealth number. So I did that. And then thereafter, I did the take a lot down there in my area. People buy TVs, buy cell phones, but there is discount on discount there. If you're a member of DuePoint, you get 2 Ds. I call them DD system. There is discount that you see, and discount again when you buy the DuePoint way. You understand? So then they say, DuePoint way, what do you mean? Let's click your tires in the car. I can see they need replacement. Then we click. Then after that, how much? Look at the price. No, I put them at a bigger price than this one. Look, in the DuePoint system, DD on you. Okay, sign me now. I said, no, I won't sign you now. I must wait until your heart is ready. The question is, the quicker you sign people, the quicker they disappear from your system. Don't rush. This is a system in itself. it will take you 3 years. You can reach to at a big amount of money. So take it like your hobby, at the same time, methodically so. You must have a formula that I know every Friday I meet people on one-to-one. Then in my area, every Saturday, I call them. No, I address up to 100. That's why the XPs are higher like this one. Address 100 same time. We are addressing frustrations. We download apps. After downloading the apps, and then I educate them. I say the only way to go to DuePoint, you must be connected. Go in there, click in. But always must refer them to the website so that you don't claim to be master of all, but you are telling things that are not right. So the best system, show them the website, but educate them as they go. Because many people, they fear technology. Particularly in my area, you talk of website, they think it's webs and they think the other way around. Right, so basically that's what I did, Rob. And the beauty of this system is that to me, it has encouraged one culture. It's next to me. It has encouraged one culture of investing myself. So the other thing I do, I normally say, look, I've got Access Wealth, and it is 100 when you start, isn't it? So I don't take 100. I push it to 2.5. Because they say our money will disappear. I said, I want my money first to disappear. So the people that you bring to you attract, must be people who are, I put 2.5, put you 100. It's not, I said 2 point doesn't allow you for the first time you go to 2.5. No, you must be at 100. But I'm at 2.5. Indirectly, this person is say, I must lose my money first if it has to do with losing money. I brought a Kumbi here the other time. Because they said, I'm lying, it's not existing. I brought them here. When they're here, all of them went back, they got signed. Yeah, because I bring you here. Now what I said in June, I'm bringing another group, 50% sponsored by myself, 50. On condition that we are qualifying, you've got 3 people. You earn 165, then you can be subsidized by myself to come to head office. So those are the strategies we do down the line. And DuePoint is easy, it's not complicated. So long as you use the apps that people have, people understand. But if you come with theory and say it's a business, it's in head office, it's in Johannesburg, from my area is 500 kilometers. I'm next to Mozambique. So what happened when I came here, I used altitude travel. Why? It's a product inside my DuePoint. So it's a lifestyle. Because you can't preach what you don't have. So with Access Well, the same thing. You must invest your money first before you tell others. Don't invest 100 grand. That means you are doubting the system yourself. Then you're going to attract doubters. It's like you are a new class with a lot of negatives around you, negative people, and therefore they'll destroy your corporation or your company you've created. So for your eyes, you must be like an eagle. Look at the right people, don't rush. Make sure that you see this one is right, and therefore use the indirect system, not direct. When you propose love, always don't go direct. You must take a lady to a restaurant and pretend as if you don't love. But down the line, the action will speak better than the words. So in short, DuePoint in 1 second, you can sign a lot of people. The only problem we have, we sophisticate, complicate it, talk about it's a company, it's 2 years old, then they say 2 years old, it will disappear with money. It will disappear with money. But if you, yourself, your inside part of you, you've got your own belief system, you drive yourself, guess what? You're going to attract people around you in your first generation, second generation, or third point that will be duplicating you, not duplicating themselves. Because once you start duplicating the other person, it's temporal. But if it's me, you do what I do, then the I do what I do, then the eyes are attracting each other, then you have a big team. Guess what? We can rock the whole South Africa here. Very simple.
So that's something that stood out for us when we met Zacchaeus, is his ability to deal with skeptics. And it's natural. You're going to go out and speak to people. A lot of people have been burnt in the past. You need to be able to deal with those people. And he's got an amazing ability to package the proposition of DuePoint and at the same time engage with our products very effectively. And that's why he's got 108,000 XP. So, sir, going beyond that, you are not even a year in, but could you share with us what your aspirations are in this business? Because something has to be motivating you every single day to be doing this business. What is that?
Yeah, maybe I forgot something. On the wealth point, Rob, There's one product, when you click on the DuePoint, it says ShopRite. You see the independent companies that are there. In my area, I concentrate on the managers. I just enjoy frustrating people, and then I sign them up. What happened is I went to a shop, and then I paid 1,000 rand, and my family is aware that when it is month end, it's not time to eat money direct. I'm a Swati person. In Swati, we say, Talisa imali yako first. Your money must work for you. So what I do, I'll direct the money direct to DuePoint to FNB on my app. Order money today's month end. Tomorrow I order the voucher. And then the voucher comes as an SMS into my phone. I go straight to ShopRite. When I go to the tellers, they said, we don't understand what is this. I said, no, I'm wasting my time. I need the boss. I need the boss. Because you don't understand the system. Now, I frustrated them and signed all those bosses around my area, or the ShopRite one, Nelspruit. I went to Nelspruit, I cleaned the checkers, I cleaned ShopRite. I went to Tonga, I cleaned, I went to USAVE at the end. I said, these are the cowards one. I'm going just to swipe. So I swiped. Then they said, what is this? I said, no, I'm buying food the DuePoint way. I'm flying on air the DuePoint way. You buy a cell phone the DuePoint way. You buy the car the DuePoint way. Then you're living a lifestyle of choice created by DuePoint. No, that's it. So the inspiration part of it is that, you know, having extra income. Today I learned something that you must not think like a consumer. So, but I said, after I've joined DuePoint, my mental attitude changed about expenditure, such that I decided to clean up the things that are disturbing my finances. You know, we are black. We normally have to build my mom's house first before I build mine. So it delays, because then you have to have two incomes split. You fight with the wife divorces you, get another one, it's another problem again. So those are the things happening. But in a nutshell, what happened is that I ensured that as soon as you duplicate yourself that way, building the house, it delays. So the inspiration is, yes, I wanted money, but what I did with the money that I earned here, I paid all people I owe. Such that even the cars, I had 2 cars outstanding, then I swiped them out. So I'm building asset. So that down the line, after 5 years, when time comes for retirement, I eat my money with the family without being followed by 01 numbers every time you phone a number. You see, when a 010, yeah, these are the deaths. So now I catch it live. The first time they phoned me at DuePoint, I could rush to a phone, 010, because I don't fear anything around me. Because you know what, death makes you live an artificial life. Such that when a phone rings, then you start, your heart beats, goes up and down and all those things. But guess what, through the DuePoint, this is legal. I checked things, honestly speaking. If it was a fake, I could have told Dan immediately. But I checked, I said, this is legal. It wants you to leave it. Then guess what? People will be following you up to sign, not to ask questions.
Awesome. It'll be a good day when I'm debt-free too.
Yeah.
A great thing to aspire
Great.
to. So I'm sure, as you quite aware, duplication and collaboration is very important. So before you go sit down again, I'll give you opportunity just to give a shout out to the people that have helped you in this journey.
Great. I start there, Rob. I say, to the people out there, I'm looking at you. Starting from my family, I told you, you must make sure that you get your neighbors to watch me live. So when I come back, it's signing time, no talking, because I think we have realized I've spoken a lot. I'm speaking national. This is your chance. This thing is real. You said I must see the building. I came twice, still the building has not disappeared. So it's our time then that I come back, signing time. That is option number 1. For the first group in Tonga, around my area, I see you there. The next group is around Johannesburg, youngsters. I sign these guys. These are students. But guess what? I at Val, more than 20 watching as I speak here. You guys, I'm proud of you also. Keep it up as young people. I know after 4 years, you'll be surprised. You'll be having your diploma, plus you'll be earning over 32,000. I love you. Yeah, that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. All the best. That's great. So Zacchaeus he's between, we speak about 3 plus 2. He's doing about 3 plus 3.5, between 3 and 4 new people coming into his business every month. My hope is that in 5 years' time, we're going to be seeing a man that is way beyond just aspiring to becoming debt-free, but is really loving life because of the liberation that he's created for himself from a financial point of view. Well done. All right, so that was, the focus has been around creating this recurring income through our returns program. I told you there was a second way to earn, and that is through our XP rewards program. So you saw Zacchaeus, he had all that XP. This is how he earned the XP. When you become a wealth engineer, you will start engaging in typical wealth engineer behavior, which is coming to presentations or watching on the live stream, having guests with you, doing home presentations, logging into your app. When you do all these things, and there's about 20 different things currently that you can do that will earn you something called XP. It stands for experience points, and it is an indicator of how active you are as a wealth engineer. And what happens in the XP Rewards program is when you start collecting more and more of this XP and your channel starts to grow, we reward you along the way, over and above what you're earning every single month. So if you start out today as a wealth engineer, you will start out as rank 0. You can see you're not even on the slide. Can you see there? Right? To get to rank 1, you only need 1,000 XP. You can do this in 30 seconds. 1,000 XP, you need 4 products in your qualified channel, and when you meet those 2 criteria, you become a rank 1 wealth engineer, and we give you a once-off 55 Rand as a reward at the end of that month. It's not recurring, it's a once-off. I always say go buy a slice of cake and celebrate on your own. Why? You might think I'm being facetious, but why is that important? Because what you've just proven to yourself, and it's very important, what you've just proven to yourself is that you can get to any rank in this business. The rank 1s are doing exactly the same thing as the rank 20s are doing in our business. If you can get to rank 1, you can get to anywhere in this business. Then there's zero excuse, right? And as you start to rank up, you collect more and more XP, and as your channel starts to grow, the rewards get bigger and better. There is a 20,000 Rand check waiting for you, a 50,000 Rand check. We give tools to our wealth engineers that help them build their channels more effectively and more efficiently. At rank 5, you get the special little memory stick. It plugs into any device. Phones, tablets, TVs, laptops, computers, it doesn't matter. Plugs into any device. All our videos on there. Patrick and Pumi can show anybody the DuePoint opportunity regardless of what device is around them. At rank 7, we spend 12,500 Rand on a single set of business cards for you. Anyone spend 12,500 Rand on a set of cards? Sounds crazy, right? You go down the road, they're like 250 Rand for 500. Here you get 1,000. We take 4 sheets of board to make 1 business card. There is no ink on the business card. The logo, the edges are gilded in gold. Remember the Bibles in the old days? They used to gild them in gold. It is the same process, right? Why would we spend so much money on business cards? Because this business is very much dependent on first impressions and credibility. Any entrepreneur will tell you that. And so when you sit down at a table and you put a 12,500 Rand business card on the table, I promise you every single person at that table will listen to what you have to say. Because your business card costs 50 times more than theirs. These are tools to help you build your channels. At rank 9, now this is one everyone gets excited by, because when you get to rank 9, we take you to our international conference. Not only you, but your family too, your children. Business class flights to a 5-star luxury resort for 7 days, all expenses paid trip. Not once. This is not a once-off reward. This is a recurring reward. You will enjoy this trip, this international conference with DuePoint every single year for the rest of your life. Imagine every December going business class with your kids to an overseas resort for the rest of your life. You will never travel economy class again. I get very excited by that. I'm not designed for business class. I'm 6'3", my knees touch the front all the time. It hurts. But I can't afford business class tickets either, so I have a problem. Get to rank 9. So take a look. We've just come back from our first rank 9 trip over this December. We documented everything. This is the resort, and these are the rank 9s that enjoyed it. Take a look.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace. Cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
That awaits everybody. Every single person in this room can get to rank 9. Do you have the belief in yourself? Do you have belief in this business that it can happen? Half our rank 9s got to rank 9 in less than 12 months. One gentleman got there in 5 months. Our next rank 9 trip is 9 months away. So you can aspire to getting to rank 9 by December. Right? Today we sent out an emailer. Did you get the emailer, our wealth engineers? Movers and shakers, did you click download pictures? Did you see the resort that we've booked for this December? It's a sneak peek. No one's been able to figure out which resort it is, but I can tell you that it's better than the one we went to last year. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 on a brand new car and present it to our wealth engineers. This is what our rewards program looks like. Remember, this is over and above the recurring income that you're making every single month. We are at rank 11. The program is designed up to rank 28. What happens at rank 28? Tell us. Tired of guessing. Tell us. Right? What you need to note is that this is just the beginning. For some of us, we'll get to the business class trip every year. We'll get to the car and we'll think, I don't need anything from life anymore. I'm telling you now, you're only getting started at DuePoint. We've mapped out the next 25 to 30 years for wealth engineers in this business. Those are the meetings that we have. That's the vision that we have for this business and for the people that collaborate with us here. And on that note, we have our next wealth engineers, Marsha and Rulof, coming up. Before you come up, okay, come up now. Let's take a look here. There you go. We're going to have a quick look at your numbers. So Marsha and Rulof have been with us since the day the division was launched on the 6th of February. They are already at rank 10, right? They're from Johannesburg, so they're native to Gauteng, which is wonderful. Their channel is worth a monthly return of pretty much 34,000 Rand a month. They've got nearly 2,500 products in their channel already. They have 17 points open in their channel. So remember, we spoke about points. right? They've got a lot more points than that, but they've opened up 17 of those so that they're earning off those, and they are only 162 products away from R250,000 brand new car waiting for them in the parking lot. And Marsha, I believe, has already decided what she wants. Been eyeing it, right? That's what we can aspire to here at DuePoint. So I'm going to give it over to them. They are very experienced people in the business. I'm going to let them speak freely, and hopefully they'll cast some pearls of wisdom at our feet. Go for it, guys.
Hi, guys. Thinking about what to say tonight, I was thinking, so many people ask us, what is the secret to our success? Because we've told our story, it's available on the testimonials on YouTube. And I think the first secret to our success is the fact that we made a decision. And that decision was not something that we came to lightly, because there's so many opportunities out there. And first of all, we had a look at DuePoint, and it helps that our presenters are soft on the eye. Dit is ons in Afrikaans sê oulike boutjies. So that is one of the things that we had a look at. We had a look at DuePoint. And where else can you start a business with no joining fee? And we've got all three products. One date night every month pays for our Wealth Points product. Buy one, get one free with the entertainer. Young people, you should be investing, saving every month. You start a business by saving or investing for your future. That makes so much sense. And then show me a woman in South Africa who does not want an extra R1,000,000 cover on her husband's life. But isn't that true? I mean, it's a great, great business. So for me, that was absolutely a no-brainer. So you've got to believe in the business. I'm nearly 60, Roelof is over 60, and we wouldn't get involved in anything that is not going to be there long term. That's the reason why we decided on DuePoint. That's the reason, Zacchaeus. I know that you decided on DuePoint because we don't have time to waste. Second tip to our success, and that is stickability. How many people do you know that frustrate you because they come into the business and then a couple of months later they're not there? We've got an info session or training session with our team every single month, and then I send out SMSs, and I got an SMS back from a person that said, "Oh, ha, ha, ha." That was his WhatsApp, ha, ha, ha. This DuePoint business is not working for me. And you know how I replied? With a slide like this. That's all I did. I just sent one of those back, and I said, "Ha, ha, ha, it's working for me." And he then sent an SMS back, and he said, "I spoke to 100 people, and 100 people said no. You can't do it wrong enough, for long enough, not to succeed. But I want to qualify that. Crack up line. Speak to your lead wealth engineer." I mean, if you speak to 100 people and they say no, are you going to keep on doing the same thing? Doesn't make sense. Speak to the Pumi, speak to Roelof, speak to Dani. But come and speak to people and let us take your hands and check out where it is that you're going wrong. I want to tell you a story. The person that signed up for Roelof, Rina van Straten. Do you know that she spoke to 8 people that said no? Imagine if she stopped after 8 and said, "This business does not work for me. Nobody wants to join my business." The 9th person was Roelof. Roelof, you've seen the stats, and you know what? Every single one of those are part of her team as well. And if you're sitting here and you think it might not be working for you, have an attitude about your business. If I go to people now, I will say to them, help them complain. You know, say things like, "Oh, I see you're driving a Range Rover. Gee, whiskers. Those tires are expensive." Help them complain. Standing in the queue at the Pick and Pay, help them complain. Groceries are so expensive. And then you follow up with, having one source of income is your biggest risk today. Do you agree? And then you WhatsApp them slides like this. And don't give up on people. You know, I think Zacchaeus is a prime example of that. I've been communicating with Zacchaeus for 12 months. Month after month, I'll send him a slide like this. I'll send him a picture of Pumi and Patrick with a car. And he didn't answer once in 11 months. And 12 months later, out of the blue, he said, Marsha, I'm ready to join your team, because we both know him. Dani has also been approaching him. He's part of our team, and we've got a joint vested interest in helping him succeed.
Thanks, Marge. With a car, I said to Marsha, you can have the car, because I heard a rumor there's another car coming up. I hope I didn't shoot myself in the foot there. Okay, yeah, it's a pleasure being here tonight, and like Marsha said, our story is on YouTube. Go and check it out. And I don't really want to go into where we came from, etc., etc. But working as an employee, there were two things that we basically picked up. The one is that you will never ever get rich. That was a given. And the second one is the day we left there with nothing. There was no income the next month. There was no asset that we took with us, etc. But it was a toxic environment. It was something that we had to get out of. When you're amongst people the whole day that complain and that always see the negative in everything, eventually you are poisoned by that environment. So for people that are still employed, guys, get out of it. Really, I mean, it's really, really bad. And there's an African saying that says, don't look at where you fall, look at where you stumble. And that was something when we were employed, they always look at where you fall. They always look at what you did wrong. And they didn't say, but what actually caused that, the reason why you actually went wrong. And that is why we made a choice. Marsha and myself said, we will not get involved in a business again if it's not a feel-good business. If we know that we're not doing the good things to other people, we will not get involved. And this is a feel-good business. And Stephen Covey says, do first things first. So when we got started, we said, well, we need to know what the business is all about. So we got stuck into the videos and we asked a lot of questions, and we would get together with Dani and say, do you know how this works and how does that work, etc. And we did those first things first. And the funny thing is, it feels good to have that knowledge. Because when you sit down there and you know you have the knowledge, it feels good. So yes, we did that. And then the next thing we said, well, we need to put together our board of directors. Now, who are those people going to be? Those are the people that you're going to work with on a daily basis. And we went and we picked those people. We didn't just go out there and said, okay, oh yeah, you look okay. It's kind. We picked those people. And yes, and having those people, it feels good. Because when you work with them, you've got a common goal, you've got a common vision, where you want to go, etc. And get the good quality people. Those are the people that are going to really, really explode your business. So yeah, it's really, really important. And then we feel good that we know that we've built security into our income until the day we die. You don't have any control over your income today. I did a presentation in Witbank the other night, and I said to people there, come on now, be honest with me. Can anybody here, how many of you are employed, and they put their hands up? I said, can anybody here give me a written guarantee that you will have a job tomorrow morning when you walk into that office? And nobody could put their hand up. Guys, that's the life that we live today. In today, gone tomorrow. And I said, business people here, a couple of hands went up. I said, now can you give me a written guarantee that you will still have a business tomorrow morning? Come and work with a company that's been around for 70 years. Now we're talking a different story. Now you're looking at long-term security. And it feels good when you go to bed at night and you know, I've got that security. I know. Because today was payday. The money's in the bank. I know that. Yeah, and absolutely, it feels good. And then working with the people, and I mean, Zacchaeus, you moved me tonight, brother. Looking at people standing here talking with fire. I mean, go out there and want to change the environment, want to change their communities, etc. That feels good. And those are the people that we want to work with. Those are the people that we want to be associated with. Not those guys standing around the coffee machine, bitching and moaning whether they're going to get a 5% increase that year. Okay? You don't want to be there. This is where you want to be. And we feel good that at the end of the day, we're leaving a legacy. And like the good book says, a wise man will leave a legacy for his children's children. And we know when we're not around anymore, this business will be enjoyed by our children and our children's children. And one day they will say, well, Oupa en Ouma there onder die langbome, thanks for providing for us and thanks for building this business. So in this business, we also found out that when somebody stumbles and falls, they don't look at where he falls. They help them up and say, that's the reason why you stumbled. Let's take your hand and go and help you to build a successful business. The last thing that I want to leave with you guys with, have a long-term vision. Don't go for what I want tomorrow. Yes, you've got to have baby steps to get there. But if you don't have a 5-year vision as you sit here tonight, to me the biggest worry is if a person comes into the business and he says, 6 months from now, I want to earn 100,000 Rand a month. I'm really, really concerned. Okay. Because you've seen the slide with the feet, okay? Have a long-term vision. If you have at least a 5-year vision in this business, after 5 years, you can sit with 100,000, 1 million Rand a year income, residual, reliable income. Be long-term. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. So, who wants to get started? Guess what's happening tomorrow? Guess what's happening tomorrow? All the employees in South Africa are going to be sitting at home sleeping in. Right? People that want to change their futures beyond what employee or employment represents, guess what they have the opportunity to do tomorrow? Work. If you work for somebody else, tomorrow is a holiday. If you work for yourself, tomorrow is opportunity. Tomorrow is opportunity. Our business is very popular on public holidays. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and then at lunchtime at 12:15, we have 2 opportunities. 2 intro presentations that are happening live here at head office and are going to be live streamed out to the entire country. The decision we need to make is, what are we doing tomorrow? We have placed everything on this table. Recurring income, 12,500 Rand business cards, a car, the holiday. Every single person needs to decide what they want off the table. It is equal opportunity for every single person. And so I invite our guests here this evening to come join us at DuePoint. Like Roelof says, we will help you along the way. Everything our staff is mandated with is to support people in this business. We want to see you effective and profitable. You need to decide what 2018 is going to look like for you. I don't want to see people get to the end of the year and Facebook to all their friends that 2018 was terrible, 2019 is going to be a good year. Right? That's what we do every year, isn't it? Make 2018 count. Thank you for your time this evening. Come speak to me if you have any questions. Have a wonderful week and an even better year. Thank you.